I'd just sit there, silent, cold, looking at her. I don't want to make this worse. I don't know what to do. I'm annoyed. I'm frustrated that I've done this again. And she's right there, looking at me, trying to reach me. And my walls won't come down. I thought that was the kind of choice. Silence over anger. But I was wrong. And that mistake cost me so much. When she would bring me her pain or her upset, all I would feel is I've failed. I've messed up again. I can't get this right. I keep hurting her. And I was not ready to face that. I was still too ashamed, too afraid. Just shut down. I would tell myself that's the kind of choice, right? Just shut down. Don't get aggressive, don't get angry, don't yell. Just silence. But little did I know that silence was really only just trying to protect me because I wasn't ready to face that I am hurting the woman I love. And that was a difficult thing to accept. This cost me a lot. Her trying to reach me constantly and I would just shut down. I'd be annoyed, I'd be frustrated because I'd think to myself, here we go again. Great, I've let her down again. Instead of sitting in that pain, I'd brush it off as if it was just annoyance. Just such an inconvenience to be bothered by that. Because I wasn't ready to face that I was causing pain to someone I love. I wasn't ready to be honest with myself because I was trying to protect myself. At that time, I was grieving. And during my grief, I just had changed. Understandably, I became short. I was short-fused. I became easily agitated. I lacked patience. And the person who copped everything was the person who chose to be by my side. Her. And for the longest time, she never got to see the best of me because I was constantly reacting, constantly angry. And at that point, I would tell myself it's better to internalize that anger than to let it out on her. But there were also times when I did let it out on her. And it's not something I'm proud of, and it was something that I worked to fix, but I did both. And that caused real damage, real hurt. And she didn't deserve that. But at the time, I didn't know any better. What I couldn't see then was I was hiding behind my grief. I was just protecting myself from feeling the disappointment of hurting her and letting her down. And when that feeling would come up, I couldn't take it. So then I just pointed out at her, blame her for this. Was her fault because the way she's reacting to this, because of what she's doing. I was not ready to take full accountability for my own actions because I wasn't ready. I was hiding as a boy because I didn't know any better. Even in therapy, we had a therapist session, and some of the things I did, she's like, this is like a little scared boy. And I've been thinking, yeah, I am. And now looking back, I'm like, oh, that's not good. No one wants to be with a boy. But I didn't know any better because the truth was my ego was trying to protect me. It was trying to protect me to be like, hey, it's okay. You're safe. She's the problem. She's the issue. We're fine. The therapist is siding with us. And she would be annoyed by that. Kane, you should be proud of yourself. You're able to express your feelings and, express how you really feel. A lot of men can't do that. And that was true. I could express my feelings. But the deeper truth is that I could only express them up until the point where it hurt. When it was really twisting the knife, when it really was getting deep, I couldn't handle that. No chance. So what I did was I would then deflect or defend or deny. Anything I could do to not have to sit in that really uncomfortable feeling of, hey, you're not stepping up, you're failing. My ego was protecting me, and my ego was protecting me from shame. The shame of, look at your behavior and look at how you're showing up and look at how you're hurting the woman you love. So it was easier for my ego to just say, she doesn't understand us. This is her fault. Why can't she see my perspective? My perspective makes sense to me. It was just protecting me. But that very protection of that cocoon that I had was also the same thing that was pushing her away, that pushed her away. It was easier to play a victim than to accept accountability. But by not accepting accountability, my ego became my own prison. It pushed away the thing that I desired most, which was a real connection with my relationship and my partner. All of that was just an illusion. All of that was just a scapegoat, front, the reality that was, hey, I don't feel enough and I'm ashamed. And I'm ashamed to really face that because it's very painful. Very, very painful, but it is very, very freeing. If you're able to face that. And the moment that it broke, it was after we had broken up and a long time had gone by, and then my new relationship, and I'm showing up better because I've learned these things. And then as you learn these things, new flaws and new wounds come to the surface, and it's like, oh, I had no idea about these. And then finally, when that relationship was almost at its end, when I realized that I'm just gonna let go. I'm gonna let go. Fine. If this is how you see me, if this is how you see me, I'm going to accept it. And as I accepted that this is her narrative and I wasn't fighting it, I wasn't defending it, something happened. And that very thing stemmed from the fact that my shame was saying that, hey, if you're messing up, you're not a good man. And if you're not a good man, then you're failing and you're not enough. That wasn't true, but that was what I had told myself consistently in the back of my head. And that's why nothing would land. And by the time when things finally landed, there was a lot of damage there. And I don't know if any of it could be repaired. But regardless, I hope that you can learn from this as well, because it's not easy to face yourself. But I promise you, if you can look in the mirror and be like, where am I hiding instead of being my true self? What are the things that I'm ashamed of that I need to face? Because if you face those things, really face them head on and be honest with yourself, you can free yourself of the prison that is your ego. It's a protective cocoon. But that cocoon, it also keeps you trapped. It keeps you stuck. And the only way that you can really grow from that experience is to allow the relationship to expose who you are as a person, expose your flaws, expose your wounds, expose your pain, and lean towards that and go, how can I grow to be a better man? How can I grow to be a better person? That only happens if you're willing to face it. And unfortunately, most men can't face it because it's difficult. But I promise you, if you begin by just asking yourself, where am I not being honest about who I really am? That one question will begin to open things for you so that you can see where you are. And in doing that, you'll free yourself one day at a time. It's all about accountability. Now, I put together 7 questions that help you determine whether you're pointing the finger or you're taking accountability. Links in the description. Brother, I appreciate you for watching, and I promise you, the work is worth doing.